Hi there, I'm Carissa Evans with True Aura, and I'm going to go over a simple makeup application with you today using True Aura's Clean Color. Um, I just want to talk about a few of the tools I have with me. First, I'm using the computer, but I have my little mirror with the blow up side, I like to call it, the magnified side, because sometimes it's just not very easy to put your makeup on in the computer. So I'm going to have that there for when I need to look over there. I also have my brushes, all my brushes there, and I'll talk about some of those as I go through it. And this is how I keep my brushes, just in a mason jar in my bathroom. It's just a simple way to hold everything and easy access for me. I've got my color switch, which I'll talk here in a minute. And I've got a makeup like palette, so I can work off of that. And then my other, my products and that kind of thing. So, okay, so True Aura Color is clean, meaning it's derived with skin identical or naturally derived ingredients. We've got a huge no list of ingredients that we will not use in our products. It's safe, it's clean. What makes us different than other companies, because you know there are other clean companies out there, is that our products are not only clean, but also work for the microbiome, which so they have pre and probiotics to feed your microbiome, which is basically it's health food for your skin, keeping your skin healthy and that kind of thing. So your makeup is working along with the skincare to improve your skin versus work against your skin, which is what many makeups do. So all of the products are non-comedogenic, which means they do not clog your pores. They're all paraben-free, gluten-free, sulfate-free. Well, we don't have sulfates in makeup, but what other, let's see, synthetic dye and synthetic fragrance free. I've got it here somewhere here. Artificial fragrance and flavors. So for the lipsticks, they're free of. I talked about that. Synthetic dyes and pigments, silicones, and synthetic additives are also not in our makeup. So those are things you'll find in many other makeups. Also, what's super cool about this makeup line is it's truly clean. And I can tell you from our experience in finding a company to manufacture our products that if there are other companies out there that have truly clean products, I would be surprised, because it took us something like 20 different companies before one would agree to make our products, because of the cleaning process that has to happen before they go from making whatever product line they're making here. They have to clean their machines specially in order to make our products. So that's what makes our products clean. So I'm going to first get this hair out of my face. I normally do my makeup in the morning before I dry my hair. So it's just usually all slicked back and I don't have to worry about it. So there. It's not real cute while we're doing it, but oh well, it's all good. So the first product I'm going to use is called the, where is it at? Perfect Powder Foundation, okay? And I actually use it in 2 shades. I use it in Sandstone for all over my face. And that's the one that matches my skin tone. Sorry, that was me dumping all my brushes out, because that's how I use them. But I also use it in Alabaster. And why do I use 2 shades? Well, True Aura being a newer company, just over a year old, and because of the fact that we are clean and we're very stringent on our requirements. They don't just bring something out just to bring something to the market. So everything has to be exactly how we want it to be. So we don't have a ton of products yet. They are on the horizon. Many products being tested right now and formulated, but we don't have a concealer yet. Which I kind of like, because it's forced me to kind of get creative with my products. So I use Alabaster, so a lighter shade of the Perfect Powder Foundation. So Sandstone's what I use all over my face. Alabaster is what I use for concealer. And I just do a little bit of concealing. I'm going to move my mirror here so I can see. I do a little bit of concealing before I put my foundation on, and then I do some of it after. So there's just certain areas on my skin I like to have a little extra coverage. And first and foremost, that's going to be right here in the dark areas of my eye. And what's awesome about this foundation is it's got they're called Soft Focus. It's a pigment in there that softens the lines and wrinkles on the skin. So I just have a few things I like to cover up with a little bit of redness in my skin. This comes with menopause, which is super exciting. And then it's like the little veins have kind of popped out a little bit. Never had that before, so that's the only thing I can attribute it to be honest with you. So just a little bit more coverage under my eyes. All right, so you can probably see a difference already, and just how I've just kind of lightened up. And I'll be pulling that back out in a little bit. But I like to do just those specific areas prior. See, it's a little bit light. And then when I put my foundation on, then it just kind of blends in really nicely. So the sandstone foundation. I use a powder brush. You can also use your sponge. You can use a makeup sponge if you want. What I like about this is it's buildable. So for those of us that like a light foundation coverage, then you just use it on your powder brush, just like this, and just go all over your entire face. I should have just done one side first, but oh well. I do my eyelids and everything. And just to even out, it stops any shine. This also helps prevent the shine and oil breakthrough throughout the day as well. But it's buildable, which means for example, I used to be a liquid and then a powder foundation person. So that means I'd put a liquid foundation on with my sponge first, and then I would use a powder to powder over it. So I liked a little bit heavier coverage. I liked that smooth look it gave me. What I love about this is I don't have to use two products like that. I just use this, and I just go back into those areas that I like to cover a little bit more. And you saw me use my concealer on these areas, and then my nose, just the tip of my nose. So got a little bit age spot that came out there. Another one of those fun things that happens as we age. So that is the perfect powder foundation. The best way to think of the consistency of this is it is a powder, but it really covers like a cream. So if a cream foundation and a powder foundation, so a cream foundation and a powder foundation had a baby, this would be the baby. All right. It's fantastic coverage. I actually had someone ask me the other day if I airbrush my makeup on. Never have done that. So I was pretty excited about that because airbrushing leaves your skin amazing. What also is amazing about airbrushing is it doesn't fall into your lines and wrinkles. And that's one of the things that the Soft Focus provides for us in the ingredient, is so that it doesn't fall into your lines and wrinkles. It actually smooths them out, but doesn't fall into. Okay, so the next place I go is to my eyebrows. As you can see, I don't have much. Got hair to about here and very light. This is what happens when you're young and dumb and you tweeze everything out, because it's really cool and trendy to have thin eyebrows. They don't always grow back. So now, at this age and phase of my life, I get to create eyebrows. And so to create my eyebrows, I need my glasses on here so I can see my right colors. I'm actually going to use an eyeshadow color. So this brown in the eyeshadow, and then I'm going to use this color. So if you look, I know it's not the same. Maybe it is on your screen. I'm not sure. It's the bottom right-hand color on our bronzing palette. And I'll talk about these palettes in just a minute. So to get what I want to do here, I dip into the bronzer first, just a couple of little dips. And I like to keep it down in the corner because I mix the colors, and so I don't want the brown all over the bronzer. I just put it down in the little corner down here, and I dip over here in the corner. And then I go back into the bronzer. And this, I definitely need my mirror. So now to get your eyebrow, I can see in this great light, I need to tweeze a little bit. So to get your eyebrow, to find your eyebrow, if you're like me and you don't have one, you're going to basically create a line on the bottom. And then I take it up to the top. So you can see I'm already starting to get a little bit of a brow there. And I lightly load my brush. So I do have to go back and forth quite often, but I'm okay with that so I don't have too much of an eyebrow, because I've done that and just figuring out how to do this. So I'm going to go back in there again exactly the same way. And I'm just going to continue to give myself this eyebrow. Now when I get out here, I don't even really have any hair to attach it to. So you can see it lightens up. So this time I'm going to take the bronzer first, and then I'm going to take the dark color with just a dab there, and not blend again with the bronzer. So it's going to stay a little darker so that I can get more definition in this brow out here. So you see how I did that? This is just bronzing powder and an eyeshadow, and I blended them to just get the perfect color. So just using the bronzer is a little too red on my skin, so I like to add that darker color in there just to give it more of a natural look for me. Okay, so now the trick is to get the other eyebrow to look the same. Here's the cool thing about eyebrows. All of us want our eyebrows to be identical twins, but honestly, they're fraternal twins or sisters. Some days they're cousins. If you were to look at your face like this, you can see it on me. Totally two different faces when you draw a line down the center. I know I've got my eyebrow on, but even my eyes are shaped differently. So what that means is, you've heard the term two-faced. You truly are two-faced when you do this, okay? So we're never going to be exact. The goal is to make them look like sisters, get them as close as possible. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the same thing with the second brow. I'm just going to come up here. Probably going to cover it for you this time. Come up here. And again, go under and then work up a little bit. And it always is harder work on the second one because I'm trying to match up. And that's okay. I mean, it's what I did when I was a kid. So now, you know, we pay for those things as we get older. So I'm just going to continue to just get that line out there and then give myself some eyebrow back there. And I will go back and shape them up with a Q-tip and all that to give them the same look. But just give myself an eyebrow out here. See, they're pretty close. Those are definitely sisters, but like I said, some days they're cousins. Let me get a little bit more in here, even it out a little bit. And then I have a bald spot right there. So, like, I'm terrible on myself in the mirror. We're all like that. Like, look in the mirror and find every flaw. No one ever sees that, but it drives me nuts. So I always kind of work on it a little bit. Okay. So I've gotten my basic shape, okay, and pretty quick and did pretty well with them right away. So I'm proud of that. Sometimes it doesn't go that well. All I used for that is a stiff angled brush. Okay, that's what I used for that. And I'm just going to take my color switch. I talked about this, and I just take the color out of it because I might need to use this brush for something a little bit later. So color switch you can get on, it's called Simple Switch, Color Switch on Amazon. They're like $6. It's a great tool to have in your toolbox when you're doing your makeup. So now I'm going to take a little spoolie. Oh, here it is right here. This is just a little spoolie. You can get these anywhere, Sally's, or I think even like Target and that have them. So just a brush. I do have a little bit of hair. It just kind of blends it in a little bit more and just makes them look more natural. Not quite as, you know, they just blend better. It just blends it in and makes it look more natural. That's basically the purpose of it. Okay, so then I take my handy dandy Q-tip, and here's a great little tip on how to hold your Q-tips. I love mason jars in my bathroom, so this is how I do my Q-tips. And then I put the big box away so it's not taking up so much space in my bathroom, and it looks kind of cute on my counter. Okay, so now I take the Q-tip. I'm just going to clean up a little bit just to get my lines a little bit not quite so crazy. It's got a little point right there on that guy. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, and then this is what I like to do. So a really great tip on getting great eyebrows. So if you're not into eyebrows, it's okay. I think I'm obsessed with them because I don't have them. So I have to fix them. So then if I'm going to fix them, I just want to fix them right. So I'm going to pull my little mirror back over here again. I'm going to take my Alabaster again, and I'm going to take this flat brush. Okay, it's just a fat brush, and I'm going to take it in there. Now, before I put my eyeshadow on anyways, I'm going to, I want to put a primer on, so this acts as my primer. So I'm going to do my brows, and then I'll use the rest of it as on my whole eyelid as a primer. One thing, as long as I said the word primer, it reminded me I didn't talk about it. So a great primer that we have for our foundation, it's kind of the foundation to your foundation, is our skincare, but especially our replenishing day lotion. And you put that on before you put your makeup on, and it just is amazing. It just holds your makeup. Oh, it's so awesome. And we're going to talk about that. You'll hear about that in a different video when we talk about skincare. I don't want to get into that with this video. So all you do is just go up under, and it's called cutting in. And this is how you clean up anything that needs to be cleaned up. And look, you can definitely see the difference there. All right. Now, if you're someone who is younger or you have great eyes, you don't need these magnifying mirrors. You could sit here and do this in the computer. But for those of us that are, you know, our eyes are going a little bit or have gone a long time ago, get a magnifying mirror, but not like a 10 timeser. That's scary. We don't want to see all that. Plus, it just makes us get into our skin, pick at our skin a little bit, and it's kind of makes your skin worse. So we don't want to do that. But so now I'm all like foundationed up, right? I've got lightened it up. This is just Alabaster foundation. It's the Perfecting Foundation, Perfect Powder Foundation. And I love to use it as a concealer and an eyeshadow primer. Okay, so next I am going to do my eyes. And I'm going to do a color, use a palette that, this is called Coffee Talk. Yes, and there's little bitty words down there. So this has vanilla, chocolate, and espresso in it. And you'll see, as you can see, because it's very used. I use this just about every day. Okay, but I use the other colors as well. So like the one that I got my eyebrow color from is called After Midnight. And this is beautiful as well. It's a great, like almost good smoky eye one. Okay, I've used that one as well. Love the colors. And this one's called Smoke and Mirrors. And this is definitely a smoky eye for a smoky eye. But you can put it on heavy or lighter. So it doesn't have to be like a dramatic evening eye if you don't want it to be. These all have True Color in them. All of the colored makeup that have colors, I'm not talking about the foundations, but they've got True Color pigments in them. They've got the soft focus ingredients in there. Just really fantastic. They're probiotics, or actually these are all prebiotics. The powders are prebiotics for the skin. So they feed the probiotics, which is all wonderful for your microbiome, which is, you know, that community of microorganisms on your skin. I know that sounds weird, but that's what microbiome is, and we want it healthy, and this is going to help continue to keep your microbiome healthy along with your skincare. Okay, so now I'm going to go into, find the right brush here, go into my eyeshadow palette. I'm going to take the light color, okay, and I'm just going to do my actual lids, okay. And I'm only doing down here because I'm a little heavier up here. And I've already got it lightened with the foundation. So I don't need to add shiny or shimmery up here, because when you add lightness, it brings the color, it brings it forward. When you add darkness, it recesses it. So I don't want to add more shiny lightness up at the top. So I just take those and put it on my lids. And if you want a bit of a heavier look, you can even take your finger and look at what that does. It just gives it a little more shimmer in there. All right, so that's the vanilla. Now I'm going to use the chocolate, and the chocolate is the medium tone color, and I'm going to use this brush here, just an angled brush, and got an extra little hair there. Okay, just going to load it in here, and this is going to go above my crease. All right, because I want this a little darker. I want this to recess a little bit. And you see, I just swoop it back and forth. Just a real simple swoop back and forth. Now, this is how I would wear my makeup on a daily basis. Now, I'm already 18 minutes into this video. This literally takes me 5 to 10 minutes at maximum from start to finish with my mascara and my lipstick. But I'm explaining today, so it takes a little longer. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Just take it and try to hold your brush out towards the end a little bit. It gives it a little bit more ability to move. Okay, I need a little more just to make sure we're nice and even. What's awesome about when I do my videos, I've got this thing called the Diva Light. I'll put my glasses on so you can see it. It reflects. That's why I don't like to wear my glasses, but I'm doing. You can see it back there. That's fantastic light to do your makeup in. If I could figure out how to get this in my bathroom where I do my makeup all the time, I would absolutely love that. Okay, so that was the chocolate. Now I'm going to use this puffy brush for the dark, which is the espresso. And so I'm just going to take this, and it's going to go basically in the crease so that as I'm talking and I'm more expressive, you will see the dark as I move my eye. And look at how it's, I like the chocolate better with the espresso added to it. So you can see that I still have the chocolate showing. I've just gone a little bit lower than that with the espresso. But very light-handedly. I don't have to, I mean, you can totally make this a really nighttime evening eye as well. With these colors are fantastic. That's what I love about these. These are also buildable, and the colors just, they lay down so nicely. They're so smooth, and they're just, it's almost like creamy. They just glide right on. Okay. Now, a really important tip is to take a big fluffy brush and blend all over the entire eye. And I'll show you here in a second why. It just makes it so much more natural. Look at that. Like right here, like, yep, I put that color there. Yep, I put that color there. So by blending it with this puffy brush, you're getting rid of those lines of delineation so that it just looks more natural. And this is definitely, I want a more natural look. I mean, if this was an evening look, I wanted a more dramatic look, I would definitely not blend it out so much. But check that out. I just think that's amazing. And to know that I'm using, and I clean my brush, to know that I'm using these colors, and they're actually feeding my skin, that's an incredible feeling. It's just so cool that this line is good for your skin. Most makeups are not. With the chemicals they have in them and the ingredients they have in them, they a lot of times will clog the pores. The skin can't breathe, and just a mess. Okay, so now I'm going to move a few brushes so I can get to it. Get my little palette out here, and I'm just going to use an herbal water, which I have, and I just spritz a little bit of the herbal water onto the palette. Okay, you see that running there. And I'm using the herbal water because it's safer than using tap water. You never know what's going to come out of that tap, and you're using the stuff around your eyes. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do liner. We don't have a liner yet in Truora. They are working on it. But again, it's just finding a company that'll make a clean liner. And it's really hard to find products, ingredients to get without, like, these are natural minerals. Well, a lot of minerals have heavy metals in them. We had to find minerals that didn't have heavy metals to make our makeup. So anyways, that's why we adjust. So I take this short bristled angled brush, and you can see I've gotten it wet. Maybe I've gotten it a little too wet there. And I'm going to take it and dip it in my dark color again. You can see on this side, it kind of looks a little different. That's because that's the side I use wet. All right, I use one side wet, and I use the other side dry. So I'm just going to come up. Now, as you age and your eyes start to droop, a good trick is to not completely close your eye off. I might need to pull this mirror over here. Let me see. There we go. So I'm just going to close and not start all the way over at the edge. Just start a little bit over. So like back in the day, you can see I left that gap there. Back in the day, I'd come way over here. Like, young girls like to use the wings. Wings don't work on my eye, you know, for sure. And a lot of, a little bit older eye. It's so much fun getting older. But we just learn new tricks. Need to load my water back on there again. And the thing about this is you can use an herbal water, a clean water, in any color of eyeshadow. I'm just going to bring this down a little bit more. And make it match your palette. So you don't have to use an eyeliner anyways. I mean, I like it sometimes I don't. So again, close. It's hard to chit chat and line all at the same time. And do your makeup on camera. Okay. All right. So that is the dark color. And I'm going to do a little trick. I'm going to clean my, well, actually I need to go under with a little bit of brown here. I'm just going to lightly touch down here with a little bit of the damp, what's left in my brush, basically, about 2/3 of the way over. Okay, and now I'm going to clean my brush because I'm going to show you another trick. So just a great way to add a little bit of interest to your eyes is to take and change up your liner a little bit, and I want it out of here. So I'm going to take the Smoke and Mirrors, open it up here, and you'll see this medium color gray here. I'm going to take that, I'm going to wet my brush again. I cleaned it off in my color switch, same brush. Whoa, throwing things. And I'm going to dip it in, again, to the corner over here where it's just in the one side. And I'm going to take that on the inside of my eye, just to add a little bit of interest. It actually gets, people know, they don't know what's different, but they just notice that you've done something a little bit different in the eye. So look at, okay. So I'm going to do that to the other eye, then we'll do the underside. So you know, like when you put on liner, that the dark liner all the way in, it kind of closes your eye off. So this is just one way to be able to put that line on there, but keep the eye opened up a little bit. There. Okay. Okay. Now I am going to clean my brush. Grab the bronzer. I love the bronzer. It's got 4 bronzing colors and then a highlighter in it. So I'm going to take this brush here. It's a nice little puffy brush, and I go into the 2 lighter of the 3 contour colors. And you basically make a 3 on your face when you contour, or a B without the line down, I guess, when you do the other side. Okay. And again, remember I talked about on the eyes, dark, so contouring basically recedes, light brings out. So that's why we contour. We just kind of add a little bit of dimension to the face. Okay, just a little bit, nothing too exciting. Nothing too exciting, nothing too difficult, because I do not want or need complication in my makeup. So, okay, then I take an angled brush, put it in my blush, and I'm going to take the pointier, the taller line, and put it in the lighter end, and then the shorter end into the short or the darker color. So I've done, when you do your bronzer, you do your cheeks, it's dark, medium, light is how you want to think about it. So I've got the dark, medium, light. I just do it with one swoop here with my blush then. And I know it looks heavy, but that's because I haven't blended it yet. And then I'm going to take this highlighter color in the blush again, or I mean in the bronzer again, and just hit real quick on my cheeks with that. All right, now I'm done with that. And then here's my little trick to kind of get that airbrushed look. I take my foundation, so my Sandstone again, that I use all over, and that's how I blend. So I'm going to blend it. Okay. And you can still see all of my stuff here, but just kind of evens it out a little bit more, and just gives it that finished look. Now, Truora does not have a mascara yet, but they are working on it. And so I've got a great mascara that I love to use and I have access to. So if you're in need of a good mascara, then we've got that. Curl lashes beforehand. Just a little trick so you don't break your lashes off. And I like to just take up and under. You just do a gentle lift. Just a gentle lift so you can get the mascara onto the base, and then hit the tops, because this is how you're going to get the full length out of your mascara. And I'll show you on the other side quick. So I hit the tops and the bottoms with my wand and that one. Here I'm just going to hit the bottom, and I'll show you what the difference is. You just don't get all the way to the end of the lash. Can I come in? Maybe it's not showing it real well, but it does make a difference. So you definitely want to come down from the top and hit those lashes, and that really gives you the full length of lashes when you're putting on your mascara. Okay. I always do 2 coats of this mascara. I do not do the bottoms. for the most part, because as I've gotten older, I noticed that actually accentuates my lines under my eyes. We do not want to accentuate lines, so I avoid those. Here's a tool that I recommend if you use it. You use caution. This is not for everyone, but this is my favorite tool for my eyelashes, because it can get in there and move what I want where I want it moved. And I have colics in my hair, and I've got colics in my eyelashes, and this just helps me get my eyelashes where I want them to be. It freaks people out, but it works, and I've been doing it for years. But if you're going to try it, I've only poked myself once, not in my eyeball, but on my eye. So if you're going to try it, then please be careful. So then, because I've got a heavier lid, my lashes tend to touch my eyelids, and my mascara will then transfer. So I take a waterproof, just a real quick tip of the ends of the lashes like that, and then under, so it doesn't, so my mascara does not transfer anywhere. If you don't have heavy lids, you may not have that problem, but a lot of people do, and their mascara transfers. And so the one way that I have discovered to make sure the mascara doesn't transfer is to put waterproof over top of it. So I've got access to great products and great mascaras. The only thing about it is I always have to go back and redo my little separation here. Okay, getting a little anal on it again. All right, so we're going to let that dry while I do my lipsticks. The lipsticks we have are also the true color pigments, and we've got 6 shades. I generally always mix 2, and because I've got blue on today, I like to stick to the pinks, but I don't necessarily want a nice bright pink, which is great. I love a nice bright pink, but just not for today. So I'm going to take my color Bare. So Bare looks like that. This is one that I even use as a lip balm, because this actually conditions your lips as well. And I'm going to put that on first. If I wanted a little bit more of the brown tones to show, I'd put the pink on first, and then this one. It's called Orchid. Actually, I could call it what it's called. I put Orchid on and then the Bare. But because I want more pink showing, because I've got blue on, I am going to put the Bare on and then the Orchid. But first, I have to sort of little bitty letters, so I have to put my glasses on so I can see it. That is Orchid. Okay, and I'm gonna go right over top. Of my Bare, and then I blend them together basically by rubbing my lips together, and that tones it down just a little bit. Let me get a good look here. So Orchid is a very bright. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand so you can see it without. It's a very, very pretty pink, but it's pretty bright and just not what I want for today. So I went ahead and mixed them. All right. Put it on the back of my hand. Knowing me, I'll get it all over my body if I'm not careful. So the final step, now that my mascara should be dry, feels dry, is I'm going to take the Alabaster again, and then I'm going to take this foundation brush. It's a flat foundation brush. You can see it's very flat, very stiff bristled, and I'm going to clean up under my eyes and finish off. Yep, I just hit my nose. So I remember I did the bronzer, the highlighter, or the contour on the side of my nose. So take the lighter color down the center of the nose, and then that's going to help just kind of narrow the nose and that kind of thing. So I take this and I start in the corner of my eye here. All right, and then I take it around, and then I come over here, and this is how I clean up. Look at how I just lifted my eye. Do you see the difference? Okay. So it's just, I call it smoke and mirrors, ladies. It's just smoke and mirrors. Now, the reason I didn't start out here is because I want most of the powder off before I hit where my crow's feet are and the crepier skin. That's all. So, there. I have finished my makeup. Now, again, I did a lot of explaining, so it took a lot of time. So we're at almost 35 minutes. And so I honestly can do this in 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how detailed I get. So there you go. This is True Aura Clean Color, food for your skin, but look at what it does for your skin as well. And so just love, love, love this product. If you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me at 563-357-1319, or you're welcome to go right on my website. It's trueaurabeauty.com/Carissa Evans, and you can find me there, but I will post that address with the video as well. Thanks for watching.